Alright, so today I'm back with another Blue Lock leak video, and today we will go over chapter 298. Now, even though the leaks for this week were super late again, it really made up for it, as we got to see the final rankings of all the 23 players. And let me tell you right now, that this might be the craziest rankings we have ever seen. But I don't want to say too much, so you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, before jumping into it, please leave a like and a comment as well as join the Discord server. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Also, if you want to check out the leaks for yourself, then I will put a link down in the comments where you can look at them. So we start this chapter off with the text saying, Nagi evolves with his ego, an incomplete genius finally flourishes. We then see Nagi, who looks completely insane as his whole monster aura is out, and he looks at Ryo with an extreme determination as he tells him that he doesn't have to pass to him anymore, telling Ryo that he won't pass to him either, and that Nagi is fully capable of winning without him. Ryo, on the other hand, looks pretty shocked but also scared as he just says Nagi's name. Ryo then asks Nagi if he doesn't get it, and that if they don't score the next goal, then it's over for them. Nagi looks down at the ground and says that it's not over for them, but that he would be the one to end it, as Ryo just secured his survival with his last goal. Ryo says that it's true, but still tells Nagi that he should try and combo with him. However, Nagi begins walking away and tells Ryo that it's not going to work, as this approach is not suited for him. Because if Ryo is with him, then he's going to continue to rely on Ryo. But all of this has made Nagi understand that this kind of soccer won't make them the world's best. He tells Ryo that he is able to fight on his own and that it's now Nagi's turn to do the same thing. He then says to himself that right now, for the first time, he's scared that Ryo won't be alongside him. Ryo tries to argue one last time and tries to get out some sort of sentence. However, just then, the game begins again and Nagi rushes away while telling himself to give it his all. Bachira has the ball and passes to one of his teammates. However, just then, Nagi makes a massive jump and catches the ball mid-air as he says that he will change this fear into his own fire. Bachira watches Nagi's trap and is pretty much in awe to how Nagi was able to get to the ball. Nagi has the ball and starts looking even more determined as he tells himself to continue and fight. He then passes the ball, but not to Ryo but instead to Agi, who's just as shocked. But it doesn't take long before he starts getting a smile on himself as he tells Nagi that he's finally become active, and he then sends the ball over to Chigiri on the side. Chigiri is also hyped, and as he gets the ball, he tells them not to slow down before sending it back to Nagi. Nagi looks over at the incoming ball and says that if Ryo disappears, then he can't play soccer with Ryo anymore. The ball then falls down to him, and he makes a backtrap that even catches the defender off guard. Nagi then continues his conversation as he says that he didn't think that such a future would come. He kicks the ball high up into the air and says that he doesn't like it one bit. We then see Nagi continuing to trade passes with Agi and Ryo, who is only watching this. He says Nagi's name, but when looking at his face, we can clearly see that he's deeply hurt. Anyway, the ball goes to Nagi, who's in front of the goal now, and his wild aura starts coming out as he says that he still wants to be with Ryo and that he'll become strong on his own, telling Ryo to stay close to him because he'll become someone that can dream of becoming the best on his own. We then see Nagi completely locking in and making a sick feint, which once again leaves the defender in shock. Nagi's eyes start to glow as they burn with an intense fire. But just then, someone comes to ruin everything for Nagi, and it's none other than the ninja Otoya, who just asks Nagi how many, probably referring to how many feints he will do, as he probably saw his goal against bastard Munchen. Nagi is in complete shock by this, as he can't believe his eyes. However, Otoya stands before Nagi and tells him that he won't let him do any more, as that technique of his has already been taken care of. Just then, when everything seems lost for Nagi, Ryo comes by his side and screams his name with all that he can. Both of them look at each other in shock before Nagi calmly says Ryo's name. Otoya starts getting more and more closer to Nagi, and he has to act fast, so he decides to throw away everything about being alone and then get back to working together with Ryo as he passes him the ball. Hey, it's Natsu, mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? Ryo's eyes start burning as he sees the ball coming closer to him, and he's ready to give it his all to save Nagi's dream. But just as the ball is about to reach Ryo, the goat, Bachira, comes in his way and tells Nagi that this is not the way. Nagi freezes as he sees this. Meanwhile, Bachira looks more intense than any of them could have ever done as he tells Nagi that if he can't die here and go on alone, then he's already failed as an egoist. At the bottom of the panel, we also see Bachira's offer, but it's too confusing to add it here, so I will finish the match and then go over all of the offers. Bachira gets the ball and starts running with it. Ryo screams at his teammates to stop him. However, Bachira is a true egoist and a monster, so he completely bodies them and he dribbles past all of them. Before he quickly sends away the ball to his teammate, this makes it so that Bachira can run up on the field, and as he gets into the perfect position, his teammates pass the ball back to Bachira, who jumps up to meet it and scores the final goal of the game, which means that FC Barca won with a 3-2 victory against Munchen City. Now with that boring part out of the way, let's get into the rankings. By the way, I'm gonna take them in order, so it might be a bit tiring, but believe me, you want to stick through this. As I said earlier, Bachira got the next offer, which was an offer at 120 million yen. We then got Chigiri at 6th place with a 90 million offer, followed by Ryo, who's got a 78 million offer. After Ryo, we have Kunigami, who's got himself a 66 million yen offer. After him, we have Otoya, who's got himself into the top 9 with a 63 million offer. And on the number 10th spot, we have Aiku with a 60 million offer. Leaving them, we have Karasu, who's sitting on a 55 million offer. After him, we have Gagamaru with a 50 million offer. After the GOAT Gagamaru, we have Ryu on a 45 million offer, followed by Yukimiya, who have a 42 million offer. We then get to the 15th place, where we find Nico on a 40 million offer, closely followed by Hiyori, who's got a 39 million offer. After Hiyori, we have Sendu on a 37 million offer. After him, we have Corona, who's sitting on a 35 million offer. After Corona, we have Zantetsu, who's sitting at a well-deserved 33 million offer, which he really deserves after the PXD match. Moving on, we get to the 20th spot, where we have Fukaku on a 28 million offer, followed by Raichi on a 27 million offer, and then Kiora on a 26 million offer. This means that there's just one spot left, and the one who got that position is none other than Nanas, who came in at a 25 million offer, meaning Nagi came in at the 24th place with a 24 million offer, which means that he did not qualify for the Japan U20 team. We then see Isagi, who's looking at the big screen totally in pure shock as he can't believe his eyes as he says Nagi's name. Meanwhile, Nanasi is on the side thanking God for saving him and getting him into the last spot. The ending text says, "A genius, surprisingly disqualified. Even the Demon King Isagi is shocked by the unexpected final ranking." And I'm just in pure shock by all of this, so I don't even know where to begin, if I'm honest. I liked Nagi's idea at the beginning to go all alone and push himself to be able to play on his own and not have to rely on Ryo. However, you can't really think like that if you're going to end up backing out like a minute after, and I know that it was because Otoya came in his way and stopped him. However, it was like Bachira said himself, that if you can't die here and go on alone, then you have failed as an egoist. But you guys need to check out the leaks later, because Bachira went completely insane as he rushed towards Munchen City's goal like he completely bodied everyone on the field. And honestly, he showed the world why he deserves to be the 5th player in the offers. Anyway, we should probably get to talking about Ryo and Nagi. I've always said that Ryo would be a lot better without Nagi, so I really hope that Ryo will show that in the U20 World Cup, and that he doesn't just completely break down without Nagi and refuse to play or something. Because he has to remember that even before Nagi, this was his true dream, winning the World Cup and showing to his father that he can do it. So I really hope that Ryo is able to pull himself together and not act like a baby with Nagi. Now talking about Nagi, I doubt that this is the end for him. Yes, he won't get to play in the U20 World Cup arc. However, he's too big of a character for his story to end here. So to all my Nagi fans, I feel like this next arc will be without him. However, after that, I'm sure that we will see him somehow. Because let's be honest, Nagi got his own entire spin-off manga, and even the creator has called Nagi his favorite character, so seeing his journey end here isn't likely. However, I do see him becoming a totally different person when we see him next time. But please let me know in the comments what you think will happen to Nagi. If you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.